Hello, I'm Lawrence,
And I'm Richard Wright.
and we are here to introduce our podcast called Fearless Living.
Yeah, it's a new podcast, and in this we want to talk about several things. But initially, we're going to introduce a book that we just co-authored. I've got a copy. He's got a copy. He's on the front. I'm in the.
I'm on the front without
Yeah,
the face.
I'm not so happy about that. I'm in the back cover. But anyways, we're both in here. So, Lawrence, why don't you tell us what the book's about?
Okay, the reason to write this book is because everybody is dealing with fear, including myself in the past. We all are going through that because of uncertainty, because of, you know, not getting somewhere or losing something, and the fear is always there, and the fear has limited my expression in what I do and how I put myself in the world, and that create a lot of fluctuation in my life that put me in a back seat, that I was not able to express fully. So because of my own limitation, I started to look into my fear, where this fear coming from, and I started to do inquiry, and because of that I was able to overcome the fear in me, the inner fear, the inner conflict.
So, in the book, Lawrence has got several different examples of some of the fears that he had and how he overcame them. Can you give one or two examples of that?
uh, okay, one of the example I put in the book is the fear of flying. When I from the day I started to take the airplane, I was kind of nervous all the time. Am I able to get to the destination? Am I able to be okay? There was a fear of I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I don't want to die, and I don't want to not able to enjoy what life has to offer.
Well, a lot of people have this fear. So, how did you get over it?
uh, Basically, I had to witness myself, and I had to ask myself a question: where is this fear coming from? And
That's what witnessing is. It's asking yourself these
so
questions.
where is this fear coming from, and uh, why this thing is keep coming on the surface of my own consciousness.
So, give the viewers an example of how that witness works. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the root cause of my fear, whatever fear that is surfacing on the outer level. uh, I am looking into that fear and backtracking on the fear again. Where is this fear coming from?
Yeah.
What is the root cause of that fear?
Because if we know what these root causes are, we can usually overcome these fears, and we're stronger for that.
Basically, resolving the fear is about looking into the fear and backtracking on the fear and finding the root cause of the fear. And also, that is not the end. From there, we have to eliminate the root as well by following the fear backward.
So, what was your fear of flying? Did your mom and dad used to throw you in the air back and forth to each other? What was it?
No, basically, we all have gone through the experience of pain in life. Even having a little cut on your arm is painful, and then there's a remedy for it to cure it, to
Yeah.
heal.
Yeah.
From that experience, we have certain idea of like, don't want to go through the pain, don't want to suffer, right? And flying is when something goes wrong, then there's the idea of suffering. And that suffering, I don't want to go through the suffering, brings the idea that I don't want to, go through that. I don't want to die, because dying feels more painful than any other
And
pain.
dying's not fun.
Definitely that is not fun for the, for the ego self, for the every
It's scary,
individual.
sure.
So because of that idea, you know, uh, we prolong the narratives in our head, and we just create more story on it, and we get lost in it, and from that we are draining ourselves energetically, physically, and mentally. We're just losing ourselves in that story.
Right.
So that kind of involvement doesn't help us to be in the now.
Right.
Doesn't help us to have the clarity how to be in the now, and how to enjoy the now, and how to create from the now.
Okay.
So I was, in that conflicted state of mind.